So I set up the company 10 years ago, more than 10 years actually. It was in 2013. I'm coming from a total different business because I used to be managing director and financial director in the advertising industry. So, but I was always fond of wine. And in 2012, I've decided to launch my company because I wanted to be by my own and try to set up a new business. So the idea was to implement a solution in France based mainly on what we can find in the UK, which is the possibility for customers to buy wine, store it, and then have the possibility to exchange it in based on their own salon. Because when you are a wine consumer, your consumption change over the time. When what you buy today is probably what you want to drink in 10 years. So you have your own management. The initial idea was to based on the on the same thing you do in the UK. So I set up the company inside a warehouse place called Les Chais de France, which is an old place to store wine. Initially, the business was to sell every kind of wine. When I found the wine is have lot of issue with logistics and stuff like that. And when you sell wine, if it's a 10 euro wine or 10,000 euro wine, it's the same issue, the same problem. But in kind of margin and turnover, it's much better to sell fine wine than everyday wine. So my business switched from everyday wine to mainly fine wine, and today we are a small company only on the fine wine, mainly French wine, which represents probably 90% of our supply. The rest of it is Italian and American. In terms of client, we started with French private customers. Then we went to trade customers, and then foreign customers as well, trade or private. And today, I would say it's 50% French, 50% outside of France, Europe and Asia. A small part of it goes to the US. And in terms of clients, it's also 50% private clients and 50% trade clients. Yeah, it changed a lot. I mean, what I see is the fact that the data changed a lot, because the fact that all your clients can check the prices on the web and have several possibility to have data on the wine as well for trade or for private clients. So the market has been more, let's say, aggressive in terms of price, and this is an important issue. The second thing is the fact that I would say private customers are used to buy on the web, so they are used to have a flow where everything is easy to buy, pay, and collect. You have to offer an easy way to buy and collect and check data and stuff like that. So I think if you don't provide this kind of solution, you lose field versus your competitors. Initially, I started with Excel spreadsheet and mails, and then we went from Excel to a first system, which is I don't remember the name. It was tools used by all kind of small companies, but it was not dedicated to wine, because the issue with the wine is that you have to manage several information regarding the wine as well, regarding the ABV, the size, the all the custody. I mean, all the data for the custody, for French custody and foreign custody. It's a big. I mean, it's specific to our business. So you can't use a common tool uh, for that kind of business. Or if you use it, you have to pay so much money to develop it for your own purpose. It's not good for a small business. Then we went to another platform, which is an old French platform, Melitis, which is actually pretty good. I mean, what was pretty good because it was been completely developed for the wine industry, but it is an old technology. It's not linked to any kind of e-commerce. It's not linked to any kind of other data we need to use every day, such as LiveX or Wine Searcher or I mean, every kind of data you can find on the net, for which the technology has been developed, but it has not been linked to Melitis. And let's say like 3 or 4 years ago, we were starting to seeking for a new technology, because in the meantime, I mean, Melitis was on a local PC, so you couldn't use it as a SES as a SaaS solution. So it means like when you were abroad to see a client or supplier, it was impossible to have your data in your information. So it was complicated. So we were looking for a SaaS solution mm, on the wine, and we had difficulty to find some stuff. There was some solution in France, but not very well developed, or it was still in the early process of the development. So we didn't want to use something not really developed. And someone told me that there was a good solution in the UK, developed by wine owners. So we checked with them. We saw the solution, and we found that it answers many of our questions in terms of no breakdown, no break in the data flows. It means that if you want to sell something on a e-commerce system, it's direct link, and there is no hole in the system, because one issue with the e-commerce is the fact that if you don't have a direct link with your system, you can sell it twice, and it's a major issue for your client and for us, because any error in a system represents, I mean, 10 times the time you spend on a subject compared to something which runs well. So you need to find something very reliable, and it sounds the first time we saw the system that YNAB was a good solution to what we are looking for, which was the fact that due to the fact that we are as well open to private and trade customers. We are a multi-channel company. We wanted something we could sell to private, trade, French, abroad, and so on. And why not was a very good solution and very clever. in terms of how to manage the business for all kind of channel we wanted to implement and use on our daily basis. So we had a good meeting with Nick and the team of wine owners and we decided to switch to your system, and we are very happy with it. The migration and the onboarding is probably the most important part of the success. When you have already an existing company, you have some data from the past, you have existing client, existing suppliers, you have um, as well a way to use your past system, which means you're gonna have to change it a little bit and to switch to another way to do the business. We knew that it would take time because when you start over with an existing data, you need to see what kind of data you want to keep versus what kind of data you can put away because it's not really relevant and important. And we spend a lot of time on the migration. You have to plan in advance what kind of data you want to keep and how you will migrate and when you're going to start with your new system. So I would say between the first meeting, which was something held in November, and the kickoff, which took place in September, the year after, took something like 8 to 9 months, but it was really important for several reasons. The first one is you clean your past data because the fact that when you have past data, it's like an old mess you have to clean up and to put in the good spreadsheet and the way you want to keep it. And also, all this migration period give you the opportunity to train in the new system in order to be fully ready when you push the button to start in the first day. And the last point is the fact that when you stop and when you have decided to switch, it gives you the opportunity to think of how you make your business, what is your current process, which is good in your process, which is not good in your process, or you can improve it. Because when you're in a day-to-day operation, you're just running and you're on your bicycle and you don't have the time, the important time to think about the process and what you do well and what you don't do well. So it was, actually, it was very good. It was it gave us the opportunity to rethink our business. What was our strategy? What was our client? How we wanted to reach them? What we could provide more, and all this stuff. So it's probably the most important time you can spend for your business, for your client, for your company. And it was it's kind of a burden because it takes time because you have to do it. Uh, with the day-to-day operation because you don't stop your operation, but it's very important and give you probably the good plan for the next 10 years of your business, or at least 3 or 4 years. Even it's not 10 years because everything changes so fast. But it gives you the opportunity to implement the good strategy with your new tools for for a new period. So it's very good. It's faster. It's faster on everything. It links to also to new kind of suppliers like LiveX. It's automatic from buying to selling. There is less error. It's better for the client as well because all kind of information you receive, it's automatic from the sales order to the invoice to the delivery to the possibility for him to log in the system and get also his past order and to see what is that he has initially ordered. So you gain time on each aspect. So it means that you spend less time in your day-to-day operation in the all the administrative part. You spend less time in all the I wouldn't say not important aspect of the business, but I mean you can focus on the most important things of the business, which is your client and your supply. It means that you can spend more time in buying. Could be buying existing sellers because it gives you the possibility to make quotation faster, implement it in the system faster, and then offer it to the other client faster. So definitely, I would say the improvement in terms of business is at least multiplied by two. And in terms of cost, day-to-day cost, it divided by one or two, I mean two or as well. So you gain in both sides. You gain in terms of business to your client, and you gain also in efficiency and then in cost because even if you pay for the system, which is normal, but what you pay definitely is less than what you used to pay previously in terms of human resources, in terms of other control you needed to do and spend on the several spreadsheets you used to have because it was not very automatic. So it's very good. Don't use YNAB because otherwise you will be as good as me, so it's not good. In France, the renewal of the client is pretty good, actually. On the fine wine, I wouldn't say it's an issue, but we have I mean, a lot of young client around 30s, and because wine it's a, I mean, especially fine wine, it's a way of life. It's a way you see the life and how you consume the, I mean, some luxury in terms of pleasure. And so if I take, for example, all the Asian customers, I mean, they are pretty young, to be honest, and more younger, because they find out that in this consuming fine wine, it's like wearing a Rolex or having some luxury goods, and it's a way of life. For Europe as well. So probably there's a way that the consuming of wine is declining because there's some fine about alcoholic beverage or stuff like that. But I don't see the fine wine suffering very much of this trend.